we do what we just did, and what comes up is what comes up, that is insanely shady, man. So Elon Musk and Donald Trump broke the internet last night. They've got 1 billion views, 1 billion views, 1 billion views on the conversation that they had on X, and the X space that they did. I want to show you guys a portion of the Donald Trump conversation that they had about Donald Trump, where he discusses getting shot. I thought it shows a ton about his personality, and you also get to see what he thinks about the entire thing, whether he suspects a conspiracy, whether he suspects the Secret Service, whether he thinks that there was just failings across the board, what he thought about the crowd, what he thought about getting shot, all of it, you know? Like, do you guys know a lot of people who have had someone attempt to kill them? And I mean, like, obviously a lot of us know soldiers that have probably been deployed. For whatever reason, this feels different, you know what I mean? Because in a soldier's life, it's impersonal.
All right, so this is Jesse on Fire. He's doing a review of the Elon Musk and Donald Trump conversation.
Right? I mean, nothing's more personal than someone trying to end your life.
I'm going to reveal the only 5 to 7 stocks that I believe you should trade options on, and how I've been able to.
But if a team guy with his group, with his team, go in trying to, capture and kill someone, capture or kill or whatever, and they get shot at, they are a member of the other team. It's as simple as that. It's very different, in my opinion, if someone is like, that's Jesse on Fire. I want to shoot him in the head in front of everyone. That's way more personal. You know what I mean? Like someone tries to target you personally, not
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is
member of SEAL Team 6 or member of Ranger Battalion, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I think it tells a lot about him listening to him talk about this that I thought was very interesting. Honestly, the reason why I like these long-form conversations is for that exact reason. I just want to know who they are, man. I just want to know who they are. I want to understand what they're like when there's no cameras around, when no one's trying to break their balls, when they're just having a conversation. So I want to show you guys that. And then...
Yeah, I agree with that. Jesse on Fire does a lot of really cool videos. I actually found his channel after the attempted Trump assassination, because he was doing some really good videos, really good review and reaction videos on it. So, by the way, subscribe to his channel. He's got an awesome channel. He also does, I think it's MMA stuff, like UFC, MMA, fighting type stuff. He does videos about that as well.
We are going to take a look at this, okay? So remember this? I don't know if you guys all saw this, because the mainstream media and the internet did a really, really good job of making sure everyone knew that this is not actually Thomas Crooks, except that it 100% is Thomas Crooks. There's no question about that if you look at this photograph, okay? Look at the nose. I mean, this is the same person. So we're going to look into this and start to understand whether or not Thomas Crooks may or may not have been in, like, a costume the day that he took the shots, because this would be the actual version. And at that point, you have to ask yourself, what are we really looking at, right? Because there's been this widespread thing of these, like, guys that think they're girls or girls that think they're guys going on these rampages. So we're going to look at that. We're going to do like an image search for it. We're going to find out one way or the other, at least the best that we can, whether or not this is really Thomas Crooks in drag. All right?
I mean, I think you can look for yourself and see, like, come on. I don't think there's any doubt. There's no doubt there, guys. No doubt.
Right. So let's jump over to the conversation between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and we're going to start right there because I've got it all queued up for where they talk about when Trump almost got assassinated, and then we're going to move over to the other thing. If you do not mind subscribing to the channel, that would be incredible.
I could have pulled up the Elon Musk thing with Donald Trump on my own and just did my own thing of it, but I really like Jesse on Fire's. I like his commentary. He thinks a lot like I do, and so I wanted to include his stuff in on this as well, because I think it makes for a great video.
Because the last time I asked somebody if they had subscribed to the channel, they said no, and so I threw my water bottle directly in their face.
Totally in their face, bro. I was there, just like face was all wet, water dripping, just no, I wasn't there. I'm just kidding. But if you don't subscribe, you never know.
Okay, so that's what can happen. Hey, Jesse on Fire. I'm like, hey, you watch my stuff? Oh yeah. You subscribed? I think so. Let me see your YouTube. I'm just kidding. I would never do that, dude. But I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. So let's rock and roll, and boom.
That's great.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, maybe we could start off with, I mean, the assassination attempt.
I gotta
which,
pause. I gotta pause this, guys. I'll be right back. It's really hot in here. I've got to adjust the AC. It's getting like really hot in here, guys. I had to turn down the AC and get a drink. Just 1 second. Where's that? Mountain Valley water. Been around since like 1847, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not. I'm not getting any money for doing that. But these are really these guys. I'm not associated with them in any way. But these guys are Mountain Valley water. This is the back of it here. pH balance and all that. They've been around since 1871. I've sold a lot of their water, like because I've talked people into buying it. It's really good. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the video.
was an incredible thing, and I have to say that you know, your actions after that assassination attempt were inspiring. You know, you, instead of shying away from things, instead of ducking down, you were pumping your fist in the air and saying fight, fight, fight. And I think that's, I mean, you know, the president of the United States represents America, and I think that is America. That is strength under fire, and so that's you know, a big you know, part of the reason.
Literally under fire, like under fire, literally.
Why I was excited to endorse you as the president of the United States for having another term here.
El presidente of Estados Unidos.
That was just incredibly inspiring. But I mean, what was it like for you?
Not pleasant. I have to be honest. I said there was.
And by the way, some of the people have commented online and said, "Oh, it sounds like his audio. It sounds like, you know, Trump is slurring his speech or what have you." That happens on. I'm not saying that's definitely what happened here. Maybe he had some like dental work done or something, and his part of his mouth was numb. But that can happen with certain audio equipment. I've had people that I've been talking to people with certain headphones that they use, wireless headphones, and it makes it sound like they're lisping or like they're slurring, and it's not. That's not how they're talking at all. And then as soon as they switch the headphones off and go to their phone, it's fine. They sound fine. So
I love that, dude. Not pleasant. I got shot, you know. Not very pleasant. Someone put a bullet through my ear. So, not ideal would be my answer to that. But I agree with Elon in that I thought it was amazing to see him react that way also, because how else are you going to battle test these guys?
Blood. I had more blood. I didn't know I had that much blood. The doctors later told me that the ear is a place that is a very bloody place if you're going to get hit. But in this
anywhere like above the neck, there's a lot of blood pressure. There's a lot of vessels and stuff, and veins, capillaries. I think capillaries. But anyway, I was waiting for him to start talking about like the bullets, you know, and he would. I was waiting for him to be like, and the bullets were so huge. You never know.
In this case, it was probably the best alternative you could even think about, because it went at the right angle, and you know, it was a hard hit. It was very I guess you would say surreal, but it wasn't surreal. You know, I was telling somebody you have instances like this, or like a lot less than this, where you feel it's a surreal situation. And I never felt that way. I knew immediately that it was a bullet. I knew immediately that it was at the ear,
Yeah.
and because it, you know, it hit very hard, but hit the ear. And I also heard people shout, "Bullets, bullets!" You know, get down, because I moved down pretty nicely, pretty quickly, and we had bullets flying right over my head after I went down. So I'm glad I went down. The bigger miracle was that I was looking in the exact direction of the shooter, and so it hit me at an angle that was far less destructive than any other angle.
And that's another thing too. So he just so happened to be looking directly at the shooter, unbeknownst to him, right? And you have all these bullets. Like, where were those bullets going? You know, he hit the ground, and then the bullets just kept coming. Now we know, unfortunately, what happened. You know, that there was, one gentleman was unfortunately didn't make it, was killed, and there was at least a couple more that were critically wounded. But thank God they're doing okay. I want the ballistics on these bullets. Like, let's forget about the one shooter thing. I want ballistics matched to the gun. And if they don't match, that's all we want.
So that was the miracle. That was,
Yeah.
for those
Split
people that
second.
don't believe in God. I think we got to all start thinking about that. You have to, I'm a believer now. I'm more of a believer, I think, and a lot of people have said that to me. A lot of great people have said that to me, actually. But it was amazing that I happened to be turned just at that perfect angle, and all because I put down a chart on immigration that showed that the numbers were so great. I love that chart even more
maybe
now.
it's a sign.
He's so funny, dude. Makes me love that chart even more. He speaks in constant hyperbole, and it's just the
Yeah. And he should definitely love that chart. It saved his life. Saved his life.
funniest thing to me ever, dude. He's so entertaining, man.
Maybe that's a sign, you know.
It's an immigration sign.
You highlighted a serious issue, and
Yeah.
at that moment,
That's right.
the bullet, Mister, here, but
So it's an immigration sign. Oh, God bless him.
Mister, your head. I mean,
Well, the amazing thing is that the sign, I said, bring down that sign on immigration, and it was literally about an eighth of a second where it would be good, and after that it was going to be a disaster, no matter which way you were facing. But it just had that perfect angle, which was exactly at this shooter. Very sad situation. Such a sad situation. As you know, we lost somebody that was great, Corey, who, a firefighter.
So if he wouldn't have turned his head, it's like, he goes like this, bang. It's like, yeah, I mean, it just would have hit him straight in the temple.
Yeah, if he hadn't turned his head when he did, it would have been catastrophic. It really would have been catastrophic. And everybody would have seen it live streaming. And they also mentioned that, too. Like, why were there so many news outlets live streaming that? And I believe it's the first time ever that they live streamed all that stuff.
So,
as far as a ex-president's rally.
Trans or not, apparently the guy was a good shot. Just miracle timing, because good triumphs over evil. You know what I mean? Even if evil happens to be a brainwashed dimwit working for the deep state. You know what I mean?
A great gentleman, a great Trumper. He was just a fantastic family and a fantastic man. And a friend of mine came up, Elon, and said, I'd like to give the family some kind of help. And I said, all right, that's great. He said, do you mind? I said, I don't mind at all. And he wrote out a check for $1 million, gave it to the wife. And, she said, this is really nice, but I'd rather have my husband back, which is a nice thing for somebody to say to.
I mean, yeah, right. Like, that, it was extremely generous, right? What a blessing that the guy did that. But at the same time, you can imagine how she feels. Imagine you lose your spouse, and then someone is kind and generous enough to say, hey, I just wrote you, here you go. Here is $1 million check. I want to help. And even though to most people $1 million check would be like, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I can't believe it, you know. But you've lost your spouse, and you can't replace your spouse, right? You can't replace, That's why I always say, like, when people get in traffic accidents and stuff, it's like, look, it doesn't matter how bad the vehicle was damaged, right? It's plastic and metal and rubber and whatever else, right? It can be replaced. It can be fixed. It can be replaced, but human life cannot.
To be honest, she's great. The family is great, and we raised a lot of money for them and for two other gentlemen.
Damn.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical.
That is, it's obvious, but I'm not actually going to not talk about
Are
it.
unbelievable people also. They were hit really badly. They thought they were not going to make it, and they did. The doctors in the Butler area, I tell you, they were incredible. They saved the two, and they were really hit tough, both of them, equally. And we thought, my first question was because I heard bullets flying over me, and I said, how many people were killed? Because we had a massive crowd there, a tremendous, thousands and thousands of people. And there
Yeah, way more than a Biden rally or a Kamala Harris rally, right? Like, they're lucky if they can fill a phone booth.
was no land. It was all people. So I said, how many people have been killed? Because I knew there were other shots being fired. And they said, we don't know yet, but some people have been badly hurt. And I have to give the Secret Service sniper, they call him, or sharpshooter, but sniper, because he didn't know there was a problem. He's an extraordinary shot, obviously, and he didn't know there was a problem. And he was able to pick it all out within 5 seconds. And he used one bullet from very far away, I guess probably about 400 yards. The shooter was 130, but he was on the opposite side of the field and the podium. And he saw the smoke and the flame from the gun, immediately recognized it, and immediately took a shot. And it was one perfect shot from very far away.
Really? Well, that's interesting because it certainly begs the question, why on earth would you have an unprotected building 130 yards from the president and your counter sniper is 400 yards from the most obvious places someone would take a shot? That doesn't.
Think about that. The shooter was right in front of. If you look at videos from the stands, like right there's the back of Trump, and then the building is like right over there, it's right there, and so somehow the shooter was only 130 yards away, but the Secret Service sniper was approximately 400 yards away. Like what's going on with that?
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but
no, it doesn't. None of it makes sense.
Again, nothing about that day makes sense.
And if he didn't do that, Elon, he would have. If he would have, a lot more people could have been badly hurt and killed. So I have to take my hat off to him, because that's also a surreal. He's been with them for 23 years, and he's never had anything like this. And all of a sudden he has to act, and it's a very tough thing to act and to be shooting somebody. But he saw the gun, saw the smoke, saw the flame from the gun, very far away. Obviously has very good eyes. He's got very good vision, which I assume you have to have in that particular work. But he took aim very quickly, and they say it was approximately 5 seconds from long range, one bullet. If that didn't happen, because the shooter had a lot of bullets, he had a lot of cartridges up there with him. So
can you imagine? You've got to be pretty quick. You've got to be pretty quick and pretty accurate. And imagine the skill that takes to be able to be that quick and that accurate. because most people, when they're in a rush, you're not going to be accurate, as we saw with the shooter.
Well,
Could have been very-
I mean, that's
So-
clearly,
I have not heard this, so I'm very curious what Elon's going to say here. But I just have to ask, like, what? Again, I mean, I wish I had a diagram of the area, but how on earth is he 400 yards away? That is a good point. That the guy's been, he'd been in the Secret Service for 23 years.
Yep.
Now
That's
again,
a good point, Jesse.
that's a long time to make good relationships, if you know what I mean. You know, if hypothetically you did have a big group of people who were in on this thing, it sounds like Trump is has faith that the guy was not in on it. So I'm not going to argue with the guy, obviously. Yeah, but I obviously am extraordinarily suspicious of the entire thing. And let's see what Elon says here.
I mean, wow. If you really went through the list of all the things with this incident, there's so many, many, many things to be suspicious about. A lot of stuff.
you know, he was very confident in taking that shot to stop the attempted assassination. But I mean, there does seem to be, I mean, some pretty significant failings elsewhere in the system. Like, there's just no way that, like, how on earth does a shooter get on a roof 130 yards away? That seems crazy. I think most people people are wondering how on earth could such a thing happen.
Oh my God, I am so excited to hear him talk about this. We're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there was, like I said, you could see, okay, so if you watch some of the videos from the cell phones of people sitting in the stands behind Trump, you can see the guy's head. You can see him crawling across the roof. You can see his head just. And you're telling me that no one, that the people that could take him out, like, where were they?
I definitely have to go reshoot the introduction to this video because guess what? Now I know Trump's going to talk about the failings of the Secret Service the day of the shooting. Let's go.
Well, you know, I view it as two ways. There should have been nobody on the roof. There were people, because there were so many tens of thousands of people there. There were people that were seeing him. And there was one woman with a red shirt and Trump all over it. And she's screaming, and that guy's got a gun. You know, you saw it probably. There's a guy up there with a gun.
I mean, it's like, I guess, I mean, for my part, and I think probably many members of the public are wondering, how the heck are, you know, basically people wondering by it, pointing out there's a guy on the roof with a gun.
Yeah.
And they're seeing it, but somehow it's not being addressed. That does seem crazy.
Well, they're going to learn from this. The communication between the local police, who sort of had an idea, and then ultimately a man lifted himself up to the roof, could barely do it because, you know, he was pulling himself up. And he saw the man with the gun. The man with the gun pointed the gun at him. He thought he was probably going to get shot, but, you know, he was like pulling himself up. And because of that, he couldn't get to his gun, and he fell down, actually very badly hurt his leg, his ankle. I hear very badly, but he fell down. And he did, you know, from what I understand, he did say there's a guy up there with a gun.
It's crazy that Trump has seen so much less of this than us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the guy that jumped up on the roof, if I recall correctly, there was a video that Jesse also did of the same guy going to his truck, his cop car, SUV, to get his gun, and then going back to the place where he jumped up on the roof to get someone to lift him up again. But I think at that point the shooter had already been taken out.
Like, I mean, I understand he's very busy. Obviously, he's a hell of a lot busier than us. But you could tell he has not seen all of the stuff that we've seen, you know. And I don't know, man. Like, he again, he's in a position to know these people better. He sounds like he trusts these guys. And I hope that is earned. You know what I mean? I hope that it's good to be trusting these guys because I don't, you know?
No offense, but if you still think
I'm with you on
stocks,
that, man.
real estate, or crypto are the best passive income,
I don't.
Yeah, I don't trust him either.
I think you had a widespread group of people, high-level conspiracy to put him in the ground. And you just don't know who was in on it.
100%,
I would
yeah.
be
100%.
Man, I would be so suspicious of everyone. That would not be a good time in my life if that happened to me.
And the shooting
100%. There was a conspiracy to put him in the ground. I mean, just look at the videos out there talking about the put options that were placed on the stocks, thinking that those stocks were going to fail if he was killed. These people know.
shooting started very quickly after that. I think it forced the shooter to go maybe quicker. You know, you're supposed to be a very good shot.
Yeah.
My sons, Don and Eric, they can't believe what happened, but they said from 130 yards, a bad shot would hit that target almost every time.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
They said it's like in golf,
Yeah.
sinking a 2-foot putt.
Yeah, it's
Correct. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. 130 yards, a human being, that is not challenging at all. Not even remotely challenging.
No, it's not, and I think that's why it was set up, whoever they may be in this case, it was set up to allow for him to get that close. So, and wouldn't it be interesting to check and see if the same people that placed certain put options on stocks just before 9/11, they placed put options on stocks like the airlines and whatnot. Wouldn't it be interesting to see if it was the same people or same groups of people that placed the put options this time? Just a thought. Just thinking.
it's not a tough shot.
It's not a long shot. The Secret Service person had the long shot. He had triple the
Yeah.
distance actually. So
Can't understand that.
it was a terrible thing.
Triple the distance.
It's hard. I have to say this about the Secret Service. When I went down, and I went down based on I think they're screaming, but other people also, because people saw this happen. You had so many people. One of the miracles was that nobody ran. I mean, if a gun goes off, the crowd
Yeah.
control people showed us this. When guns go off, and it does happen in stadiums at a soccer match or some kind of a match, everybody flees. They call it a stampede, like cattle. But everybody, and a lot of
Yeah.
people get killed with those stampedes. We had
Sure.
more people than you'd have at, some of these matches or these games, and nobody left. You had a small group behind us in the grandstand, and that was full. And you look at it as it was taking place, and normally they'd be running. They didn't leave. They saw that I was hurt. They saw a lot of blood, and they saw that I went down. And it's almost like they wanted to be with me. Well, out front,
That would move me too, dude. If they started if everybody was there to watch me talk, someone shoots me, and then I look out and the entire crowd has stuck in there, and they're just there. Like, let's make sure our guy is all right.
Yeah, I noticed that right away myself. Like, nobody ran and stampeded. Everybody just stood there like, what the heck is going on? And you're under fire. There's bullets flying over everybody.
Man, that would mean a lot. That would mean a lot. I've heard him talk about that before, actually.
tens of thousands of people. As far as the eye could see, you had people in Butler, as far as the eye could see, and
Yeah.
and a lot of press too. There was many cameras on watching this. It's what makes it so different, because normally things happen that aren't good, but you never have a picture of it. Here we have all these cameras shooting it, so sort of amazing. But one of the interesting things was that you didn't have anybody flee. You didn't have anybody stampede.
Sure.
Nobody. And there were some people behind me. They stood up and they're looking like, I'll tell you, you want to have them in a foxhole with you. I want to meet some of those people because it's so different from what you heard. But so I was down. But the Secret Service guys, there were bullets flying right over my head. You could hear them go whizzing, and these guys came jumping on top of me, and a young lady, Kate, would jump. They moved so fast, and let me tell you, that took tremendous courage. Now there was a lack of coordination. There was, obviously everybody understands that somebody that building should have been covered.
Yeah, there was definitely a lack of coordination, big time, big time.
And
Yeah, I mean,
that was
I
the
think
big
that,
thing.
like, look.
He really does not want to speak negatively about them.
No, he doesn't.
Like he really sounds like he wants to give them the benefit of the doubt, or he is giving them the benefit of the doubt, which is amazing because no one else is. You know what I mean?
No.
He just does not sound at all like the person that they try to pretend that he is in the media. As you always hear, he's not that person.
Looking at the aerial views, that building would be like the #1 spot for a sniper. I mean, it's like if you were to pick like what is the favorite, if the goal is to assassinate, what's your favorite spot? That building, the roof
right.
of that building would be #1.
That would have been the spot.
It's like you can ask for a better location. It's like
no,
#1.
that would have been the spot. You know what people think
Yeah.
is when the local policeman, who by the way, he really he did what he was supposed to do. He couldn't hold on any longer. And then when he got his head just peeking above, this guy standing there with a gun at his head. And when he fell down, again, hurt his ankle very badly, but he was making the calls. But what happened is the firing took place very soon. So what they think is that this guy ran to his site, which he had all planned out with the gun. He ran to the site and he started shooting fast. And maybe that's why he sort of missed. I mean, he
but as you
got
said,
me,
he
but it
would
could
have
have
hit.
been, could have been a much bigger problem.
But he totally would have hit if you hadn't turned your head. So, there was it was a very near thing.
It was a miracle. If I hadn't turned my head, I would not be talking to you right now. As much as I like you,
exactly,
I would not.
Yeah,
I would not be talking to you.
Dude, I don't know how anybody doesn't like this guy, man. I really don't. What is there to not like, man? He's like this sounds like a bad guy to you. I don't understand, man. I really don't.
No, me neither.
He's talking to me from another realm, perhaps.
Yeah, that's right. We'd be talking from a different place. But it was a very terrible experience. The Butler Hospital, they did such a great job. The doctors were so good. Everybody was so good. There was a mistake. If somebody knew, because people were hearing that, there was just a bad feeling that somebody was around. You know that story now. It's been And if somebody could have said, because they've oftentimes said, like there'd be a lightning storm or something, because I've done, I think, over 300. I think I did a lot more than that, but we did.
Guys, especially in Florida with the lightning storms, not, obviously it was in Pennsylvania, but we've had some serious lightning. We get a lot of it.
A lot, and oftentimes they'll say, "Sir, could you wait 10 minutes, please? Sir, could you wait 20 minutes? There's a storm overhead or lightning or something," right? And that happens often. And this would have been a perfect time for that to have happened, but it didn't. It didn't get coordinated. That was the problem.
Well, it was. I think.
I don't know, man. I think that. I think he's being too easy on everyone. I think that he is discounting the idea that there might have been real coordination. And
hey, you ever seen a wealthy person or a wealthy family or a jet owner? Like, I got a jet, I'm sorry, You ever done that, seen that? One.
I think there was. So it's as simple as that. But listen, dude.
100%.
That guy is the man. And 100%. Now we are going to move over to this particular story right here. So here is what we're going to do, all right? So we are going to go and we are going to image search this, okay? Once and for all.
There you go. You ready?
I have not done this. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Watch this.
Okay? I have not done this. We are going to image search this right here. So we go here. I don't know if you guys knew you could do this, but we are going to do exactly that. We're going to go over here to the picture of the trans Thomas Crooks, and we are going to image search it in Google. So let's see what happens.
You can do this.
Oh, really? All they show is the choker, huh? Here we go. Okay, so this says, anyone know why they aren't using this photo of the shooter? I wonder. This can't be him. I guess they don't want to associate this crime with people. If not the shooter, who is the lady? He's so pretty. Doesn't look like... Yes, it absolutely looks like him. That's just not true, dude.
Yeah, looks like him.
That's absolutely not true. Here, hang on. Let me go
100%.
back and see if there are... see if there are others that we have to look at. But it looks like they're only doing that choker, which is unbelievable. Okay, so now let's do a different one. Let's do the one where you can see both him and that picture. Oh, God, dude. Do you see that? Look at... Why is this doing this to me? This is making it really hard to... Look at this. Feeling cute. Might go to a Trump rally later.
This is wrong.
That is so... Feeling cute. Might go to a Trump rally later. Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen, dude. Feeling cute, might go to a Trump rally later. That is so funny, dude. That is so funny. They have...
So
here's
wrong,
the
but
thing.
so funny.
I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, that's not him? That's not him? How do you know that's not him? Here's the thing. That picture came from somewhere. I'll tell you exactly what this means. That picture came from somewhere. The fact that you cannot find anything on it, a picture like that went viral, because I saw that picture go viral. Okay? The fact that when you Google search it, you can't find anything, that is insanely shady, dude. Super, super, super shady.
Yes, 100%.
Like, I don't believe it. Okay? I don't believe it. Okay? Bottom line, the fact that we do what we just did and what comes up is what comes up, that is insanely shady, man. Like, really, really, really shady.
Big time.
This is the little secret of adult film actors.
Ooh.
Last Friday,
Ooh, hey, we don't need... By the way, guys, check this. This is an AI. This girl in this... Where's the camera? This girl in this picture talking, that's AI.
I went out
watch.
with a man who is older than me. According to his driver's license, he was 54 years old. I ended up going to his place, and it was really great. What surprised me the most was the size of his friend. I had never seen anything...
Wow. That's not a fake voiceover or anything. Anyway, guys, I'm going to put the link... I'm going to put the link to the video in the... I was going to say subscription, in the description for you guys to watch. Great videos, man. Go check out Jesse on Fire's channel. He's a super cool guy. Just go check it out, man. And let me know what you think. Subscribe to his channel. And he's a super blessed guy. Very, very blessed guy. He has a beautiful family. From what I can tell about the guy, he has really good morals and values. He's a stand-up guy. He's a family man. He wants to provide for his family, be there for his family, protect his family. I mean, what more can you ask for from a guy, right? So anyway, go check out his channel and his videos. And like I said, I'll leave the link for this one in the description. And we'll see you next time.